Quasi here, and in this video, I want to share with you what acting from fear really does to you, and this subtle, nuanced point about letting go and how to truly let go. This lesson took me years of internal reflection to figure out, and really by the end of this video, you're going to learn why fear and the actions that you take out of fear will always keep this fear going, and how to get out of that state and get rid of those hidden blockages that keep stopping you in your business, keep stopping you in other areas of your life as well. Okay, I want you to stick around to the very, very end of this video, because what I'm going to share with you here is probably something you've never seen before. Before I begin this video, I wanted to quickly announce that spots are now open for the free one-to-one consult with me and my team for the Reality Mastery program. So make sure you wait around till the end of the video for the announcement on how to enroll for that. And with that, let's get started. So today I want to talk about this nuanced point of action versus intention. And you might be wondering, what the hell does this even mean? You know, most people usually think that action and intention are the same things, right? They think that there's no difference between the actions that you take and the intentions that you have. But really, it's what comes first in the chain. It's usually the intention that comes first, and the action is an expression of the intention. So most are always focused actually more on the actions that can be seen, aka appearances, than the hidden source from which this intention arises. Okay, so let's write that down real quick. We're mostly focused on the appearance of action, or the physical equivalent of this intention. Appearance rather than source. Rather than source. Why do I say that? Well, what's even the fundamental difference between that? Let's understand that first of all with an example. So if you think about you as a business owner, right? Me and my business in terms of getting clients. When I would start off in my business and I wanted to get clients and I had no clients, I was in a place of scarcity, okay? I was in a place, a sort of feeling of scarcity. And from this feeling of scarcity, I was made to act. I was compelled to act, okay? So what was driving me was this feeling of scarcity. And when I acted from this place of scarcity and I went out and reached out to prospective clients, so the activity, the action itself was reaching out to prospective clients and presenting my services, pitching, making offers, right? That was the physical action, the appearance of the action. But the intention was, I don't have clients, I'm in scarcity, I need clients. I need to make money. And when I did that, the prospective clients could actually feel the scarcity coming from me, and something would turn them off. And they would make up all sorts of excuses like, oh, now's not a good time, oh, I'm moving, oh, I got to talk to my husband or wife about it. All of those excuses were coming up. But deep down, I could feel that they weren't really convinced, but they weren't telling me the truth. Do you see what's happening? My feeling of scarcity, neediness, is compelling me to take these actions. And when I take these actions, the actions actually propagate the feeling of scarcity to the point where the clients feel it, prospective clients feel it, and they decline. On the other hand, let's take the same action of reaching out to prospective clients, pitching services, making offers, but from a different place, a place of abundance. Let's say now, I'm good. I'm having a great month. Hit 100K. Awesome. Everything's going well. No problem. Speaking to a prospective client, make an offer. They feel the abundance coming from me. Wow, he sounds so confident. I really think he can help me. He sounds so genuine. He doesn't sound like he needs anything from this. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. I have faith in you. Let's do it. And then they become a client. So in both of these scenarios, we have the same activity happening. The same thing, the same action is happening. but the intentions are different. The intention in one of them is to take. I'm empty, I'm scarce, I need to take something to feel more full. In the other instance, oh, I'm already full, I'm great already. Let's see what I can give. Do you see the difference? So this is how focusing on actions will always fuck you up. Because it's never the action that produces the result. It's always the intention that's in line with the action. Okay, so most people have, their intention pointed the wrong way. Their intention goes left, but their action is to the right. They want to get more clients, but they don't feel that they're worthy of clients. They don't feel that, they can help the clients, so they kind of force it. Instead of changing themselves first, they kind of force it. And that's why your prospective clients can start to feel that. And that happened to me for a very, very long time until I figure out how to kind of manipulate my internal state of being first, come from the place of being first, and then approach the actions, the doing. Okay? I hope this is making sense. If it's not, please rewind and look at it over and over again. But this will be applicable to any area of your life, not just business. Because it's the same with fitness. You can never come internally from a place of scarcity and expect something to happen. You must be there first. In your beingness, you must be there first. And then your reality will catch up to you. This is what's known as the mirror principle of life. I made a video on it. Click here to check that out. But you can't expect the mirror to smile before you smile first. That's essentially it. Now, let's talk about this fear and scarcity mentality and why you keep staying stuck in it. Most people, when fear arises, what they do is they're quick to act. When you feel anxious, when you feel fearful, what's the first thing you want to do? Oh, let me do something. Oh man, I'm so antsy. Oh man, I got to do something. Take a pill, smoke some drugs. I got to do something. That's the first thing you want to do because it's so uncomfortable. And instead of staying with this discomfort, it immediately compels you to action, right? So whenever fear arises, we're quick to act. There's a huge problem with this. And only recently I realized that. Actually, the problem is threefold. And I'm going to explain that to you right now. Why is acting, whenever fear arises, why is acting immediately a problem? Let's find out. So the three parts to it are basically, why is it a problem if we act out of fear? Number one, whenever you feel fear and it immediately drives you to action, it rewires you to act only in a state of fear. I'm going to say that one more time. Whenever fear and anxiety arises, let's say for example, your business isn't doing too well this month. And immediately what it makes you do is it makes you, oh shit, reach out to more clients. Oh, do more ads, spend more money in ads. Do this, do that. So what you're doing is, you're just trying to do to get. I'm doing this in order to get. I'm doing this to supplement my lack of beingness. Okay? It's very, very nuanced, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. The problem is it rewires you to act only in a state of fear. Okay? Rewire. Problem number two, and this is a very, very key one, is acting immediately when you're in a state of fear actually is escaping that fear. When you're in a state of fear and anxiety and you quickly act, you'll see that most of the time that action is a distraction. It's actually not tackling the fear head on, but it's actually escaping the fear itself. You do something, you smoke the drugs to escape that fear. You turn on the TV and you watch something on television to escape the anxiety, to escape confronting the anxiety. You eat food when you're anxious to escape that feeling of anxiety. Do you see how this is happening? It's kind of insane. But when you act immediately from a place of fear, you're actually escaping. You're escaping the fear. And finally, oh, by the way, escaping this fear is a problem because when you escape a feeling, what happens is it gets suppressed and then it gets repressed. When that happens, the point of repression, it's going to come back up at different points in your life. Right now it's unconscious. It's going to come into conscious awareness at different points when it's the most inconvenient for you. It's going to keep coming up, and it's always going to be this unconscious barrier that keeps holding you back. You'll never be able to explain why certain patterns keep happening in your life, why certain relationships keep repeating themselves over and over, why you keep staying stuck in your business. A lot of it will be just unconscious to you because you keep burying it deeper and deeper into your unconscious. There's a solution to this. I'm going to get to that right in a second. But for now, understand that escaping it is a problem because it suppresses it and then represses it. And finally, when you act from a place of fear, it actually propagates that fear and that scarcity. Okay? Propagates. What do I mean by that? So to give you an example, in that instance of, let's say, your business is going down and under, you get panicky, you get fearful. You're like, oh shit, I got to do something about it. Oh fuck, it can't go on like this. And then you immediately act. You go out there and you send out a massive email, or you go out there and pump more money into your ads. What happens is you taking these actions from a place of scarcity will keep the scarcity going. Your ad money will probably just become a sunken cost. Nothing will happen out of it because you're just putting more money into a broken strategy that hasn't worked for you this whole month anyways. In your email, when your prospective clients read it, they'll still feel like something is off, even though it's just words on a page. Energetically, something will be off. Again, the intention will always influence it. They will be able to feel it. Energy never lies. And then for some reason, your email didn't schedule you, enough appointments with your prospective clients. Oh no, nothing's working out. What needs to change here? Your state of being needs to change. You've got to find a way to go from this feeling of scarcity, your attention is on lack. Okay, predominantly your attention is on lack. Why isn't this happening? Why am I failing? Bad, bad, bad. What's good? What's working? There's two sides to the coin. Always two sides to it. But you're just focusing on one side of it. And that's the side that the mirror is reflecting. You keep focusing on lack, the mirror says, oh, you think you're poor? Here's more poverty. You think you don't get clients? You're right. That's what happens. This is really why a few people become successful. Because despite whatever's going on out there, they're like, nah, somehow it's going to happen. It's got to happen. If you read into the story of Elon Musk, his car company, Tesla, it failed for years. It failed for years. He was in the hole. He had anxiety every single day. He was dying every single day. He was having heart attacks. His wife was describing how he would wake up with panic attacks and scream in the middle of the night. Before he got to the point where it succeeded, where both companies succeeded, SpaceX and Tesla. Right? Why? He still persisted despite that. He knew deep in his heart, he was working towards a vision. He was in the vision. Instead of, this is going wrong, that's going wrong. And he would never tell his employees, by the way, of how much of a financial strife he was in. Because that's not in his world. That's not in his focal point. He deals with it as it comes up. Different people have different ways of dealing with it. Did Elon Musk use the most effective strategy to deal with it? Maybe not, but it worked for him, right? So these are the three biggest problems that I've found when you act from a place of scarcity, when you act from a place of fear, when you let your fear and anxiety drive you, when you let it make you act, you become reactive to your fears, to your anxieties. So what should happen instead? The question now is, well, what do I do instead, Quasi? What's the best thing to do? You probably heard me say it 100 times. I'm going to say it again. So this brings me to the process of surrender. What surrender is essentially a way of processing your feelings. It's a way of processing your thoughts and feelings and letting it dissipate. When you escape it, so there are basically 4 forms of dealing with your emotions. I actually made a video on this, by the way, so click up here to check that out. I probably fully don't remember right now, but the first way is when it comes up, you express it. Through acting, you express it. When you express it, a certain amount of it gets released. The rest of the amount actually gets escaped. Okay? The rest of it gets escaped. Just like we talked about. When you express it and you act on that fear, certain amount of it goes out there and you propagate it, and the other, probably 95% of it, gets suppressed. Suppression is a conscious way of pushing things down. Over time, the suppression becomes repression. Certain patterns that you were conscious of, you're no longer conscious of it, it's become a part of you. That's repression. So there's expression, suppression, repression. And the way to dissolve them and not have them get pent up and built up is surrender, is letting them go. Okay? I've made a video on this. Please make sure you check it out on how the surrender process really works and the most effective way to do it. But it's essentially 3 steps. Okay, I'm going to outline it for you. Step 1, whenever this fear arises, we're doing something different now. We're no longer going to act on these fears. We're never going to act from a place of fear. If we have to act, it's going to be from a place of abundance. Okay? Step 1. Fear arises. It's in your experience now. Your attention is on it now. You ask a very simple question. Can I allow this fear to be? Can I allow this fear to exist? Can I allow myself, can I give myself permission to feel this? Can I allow? Question mark. At first, the answer is going to be, no, I don't want to feel this. I don't like it. Maybe for some of you, it'll be yes. You'll force yourself to say yes, but it doesn't matter. See, why it doesn't matter what the answer is, and it only matters what the question is because whatever you question, you cannot be. If you can question this fear, you're not it. You can only question what you can look at. Do you see what I mean? When I don't question my existence, I'm attached to it. When I don't question pain in my body, I don't see the pain. I am the pain. But the moment I start to question this pain, there's a pain here. What is this pain? Now this pain is no longer me. Now there is no longer an identification with this pain. But the pain and me, we're separate now because I can question it. So that which you can question, you can never be identified with. This is the process of self-inquiry. I've made a video on this as well. If you click up here, you can check it out. But it's how to arrive at your true nature by asking, who am I? Okay? Can I allow this to be? First question. Second question. Can I let this go? Can I let go? So when you ask the first question, what happens is, can I allow this feeling to be? Now the feeling actually arises. More of it arises from your unconscious. Can I let this go? Now you sort of get prepared to release it. Anytime anyone ever made a change to their to like a state of being they've been in, whether it be anxiety, whether it be depression, it was all because they made the choice. Anytime anyone made a change in their life, they said, I'm sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. Fuck this, this has to change now. And when they made that choice, that's when change started to happen. It's the choice that we make that makes the changes in our lives, nothing else. If you make a choice and you're firm about that choice, it's going to happen one way or the other. Okay? Can I let this go? Finally, when? When? When are you willing to let it go? Obviously the answer is now. And you'll see like a progressive lightening as you do it over time. Again, this won't happen overnight because this fear has been coming up over and over and over again for a very long time, right? So you won't feel crazy good after the first time. But the key thing is to cease all activity and just be with this feeling. Just question it. Let it take as long as it needs. Don't try to change it. Don't try to resist it. Just investigate it. Feel it. Permit it to be. And with that, I conclude this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really do think this was one of the more nuanced videos that I've made. So I'd love to know what you thought of this, if this was helpful. I do hope this was helpful for you. Let's do a quick recap of what we talked about. Today we talked about the difference between action and intention and why your actions aren't bearing fruit. You know, you keep working hard, but you're not getting results. And what we talked about how most are focused on the appearance of intention, which is what you're physically doing right now, how you're acting, as opposed to the intention behind it, the context behind it, the field in which this action is happening. And I gave you an example of getting clients and talking to your prospective clients, how you can do it from a place of, I need this client to pay my bills. Or you can do it from a place of, you know what? Bills or no bills, I think I can help this client. Let's see how I can help this client. And then we talked about how whenever fear arises, it quickly makes us act. Very few can remain still when there's an internal discomfort. And so we become reactive to this fear. And the three biggest problems with immediately acting from a place of fear is, number one, it rewires you to act from a place of fear. What's crazy is now there are people who can only act from a place of fear. If something's going wrong, only then they'll act, or else they get too comfortable. So they can't act from being driven by vision, but they have to be driven by some pain, right? And it also makes you escape the fear the more you act whenever you're fearful. And finally, when you act from a place of fear, it propagates that fear. It keeps it going around. It propagates that scarcity. Like a boomerang, it comes back to you somehow. Maybe things seem fixed, but they're not. And we talked about the process of surrender. Again, I ask you to check out the video that I've linked. I'll put it in the description box, in the comments section, I'll pin it. But thank you so much for watching. I sincerely hope this was helpful. As I mentioned before, the free one-to-one consult with me and my team for the Reality Mastery Program is open. Now, who we typically work with are people who are entrepreneurs who want to take their businesses to the next level, and they have all of the tactics or strategies, and they know kind of what to do, right? But they're just unclear about the path to go in, and they have uncertainty. They start to doubt themselves, or they see that there's something else, some internal blockage that's preventing them from getting those results and keeping them. They do get the results, or maybe they're inconsistent. And if that sounds like you want to scale your business, you want to take it to the next level in 2021, but you want to do it the right way by making an internal change, by fixing the person first, the user, the operator of the business, rather than try some tactic and a new shiny object, I invite you to click on the link in the description below to sign up for a free consult, and let's see how we can actually help. And the free Facebook group is also open for you to take advantage of. The link for that is also in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time. Peace.